Alright, many people dislike this movie, and for the reasons we'll get into in a minute. But I don't think for me the lighthearted tone was the problem. And I fairly enjoyed the movie, to be perfectly honest, if I do say so myself. I think the lighthearted tone is an interesting change of pace, doesn't feel out of place too much. I enjoyed seeing Superman more lively and clumsy and have his sort of moments. There were a couple of great scenes I especially liked about this clumsiness that literally made him just,
grown dude who has superpowers.
What the issue is for me most definitely is I think the movie, despite having a strong essence and a great presentation, struggles to maintain its focus on just several good ideas. I would say a more focused narrative would have definitely sold this movie in the end. And the painful part is that even the ideas that were thrown weren't bad. The film didn't know on which we should focus on, and for that, the main themes in the end really came off for me.
Lukewarm.
And although this movie particularly would have been a lot in other categories other than Snyder movies, still I would say, till this day, among what James Gunn created, I would say
Suicide Squad of 2021
would have been his most concise creation.
Now, I would like to compare both of the directors.
But for the sake of clarity, I wouldn't exactly delve into the direction styles. I would rather focus on something that is much rather on the surface, no pun intended, and much more distinguishable for the regular viewer. The characters. Ever since the trailers for this new Superman movie came out, I've never understood the hate for Snyder's versions, because I'm not a hater of both of the directors, and I believe that different approaches to the characters bring them different flavors in the end. Because if we were to think clearly, how do you portray semi-god that grew on an island and particularly had just the training and also the absence of regular human interaction? How do you portray a superhuman whose only weakness is a stone from some unknown far away galaxy? Their story is much more archetypical, if it's a word, than, let's say, maybe Batman's. Alright, so
portraying Superman as statuesque
and other characters as statuesque is not the issue, and I think the moment we found like a small weakness in them, or not so small, we see this crack in the statue and it brings them closer to our side. And James Gunn's Superman, the approach to the character basically brings them from our side, this clumsy human side, to the side of Semigod, where he has to rise up to fulfill the duty of an actual god that secures the planet. So I think that's the main difference between these two characters, and I don't think it makes them stronger or weaker. Just different approaches, I would say.
And postscriptum, I'll never forget Snyder's version of 2021 coming out and me being absolutely in love every millisecond of what was happening. But that will not clog my judgment towards this new version. I still feel kind of lukewarm about this Superman movie. However, I'm stoked to see whatever will happen next. Hopefully it will get stronger everything, improvement on all sides.